This video will help walk you through the Texas Climate Smart Initiative application. You can find the application at climatesmart.tamu.edu under the Application and Participation tab. Click Apply Now whenever you are ready to begin. You will immediately be directed to a screen that will ask you to enter your email. Once you have done so, you will receive an email that looks like this with a verification code. Enter the verification code onto the application screen. Welcome to the Texas Climate Smart Initiative application. TCSI is seeking participants willing to adopt climate-smart practices on working lands that produce commodities. A commodity is food, fiber, or feed material produced for sale rather than for on-farm consumption. Please complete this application if you're interested in receiving financial incentives to adopt climate-smart practices on specific operation units that you own or manage. It is important to note that the working land must be located in the state of Texas in order to participate in this project. Let's begin with the first section. Here you will provide your contact information. Answer whether you are a member of a commodity organization. If so, which one? If your commodity organization isn't listed, you can type it in the box. Are you the landowner of the operating unit? And if you are considered an underserved producer. An underserved producer includes limited resource farmers or ranchers, beginning farmers or ranchers, socially disadvantaged farmers or ranchers, and veteran farmers or ranchers. If one of these describes you, select Yes. If you are still unsure, you can click the link to read more about underserved producers. The next section will be questions about the operating units. An operating unit is the area of contiguous land that is managed similarly under a single ownership. Think similar crop rotation management, land use, etc. The program is seeking specific tracts of contiguous land in Texas that are similarly managed to select for adoption. For lack of a unified term to encompass all types of working land, we will call these operating units, but you can consider these fields, pastures, stands, depending on your commodity. Please select up to 3 operating units that you feel might be best suited for adoption of climate-smart practices. First, please fill out the physical location information for operating unit number 1. Please provide as much information as possible so that we can find soil maps for the local area. If known, enter your unit's GPS coordinates below in decimal degrees. You can use the calculator link to convert from degrees, minutes, seconds, or you can click the link as you see here to find your location on a map. Is the operating unit land leased? If yes, do you plan to continue leasing this operating unit for the next 5 years? Do you have a Farm Service Agency number or FSA number for this property? If you do, please enter the number below. If not, are you willing to get one? Click the link to learn more about getting started with FSA. An FSA number is required to participate. Are you willing to allow a TCSI employee to collect research data? We will need to access it 1 to 8 times per year to verify participation and collect samples. Any scientific results will be reported back to you. Do you have any interest in more detailed monitoring or scientific study of your property that might require additional time and/or space? Would you be willing to provide income or expense history for this specific operational unit for the last 7 years in order to determine the impact of adoption on profit? Next, please indicate the length of time that you can provide previous land management history on the operational unit. Would you be willing to divide this site such that it would include practices adopted and not adopted so that we could assess the benefits of the practice? A yes answer does not commit you to doing this, it just prompts discussion. The non-adoption area would still remain a part of the program. In the next section, we will ask about your knowledge and willingness to adopt various climate-smart practices suitable for your operation. Your responses to these questions will determine your eligibility for funding and whether you are selected. Pay close attention and feel free to email or call our support line if you have any questions. To do so, you can click the link. Select which commodity you best identify with for this property: forestry, annual row crop operations, perennial horticulture crop operations, perennial animal feed operations, grazing livestock, or confined livestock operations. Includes concentrated animal feeding operations. For the purpose of this video, we will choose annual row crop operations. Depending on your commodity, you will see different commodity-specific questions throughout this section. Once you have chosen a commodity, you will be provided a list of practices suggested for that specific commodity. Please review each practice. If you are unfamiliar with the practice, click on the practice name for more detailed information. It will give you the option to view the PDF or visit the NRCS website. Then check the box next to all practices you would consider adopting with or without incentive. If you are interested in applying for financial support under the TCSI incentive program, you will choose yes. It is important to note that when entering the minimum amount you are willing to accept to adopt, know that your answer will not affect whether you are invited to participate. The price you enter will be used for economic research, and it is important that you enter a reasonable amount that is as true to life as possible. Under each commodity, there will be the option to select all other commodities associated with your operational unit. Please select all that apply. There will then be the option to add another operating unit. Keep in mind you are able to add up to 3 operating units to your application. Upon selection, you will have the opportunity to discuss adding any additional units. The last section is the concluding questions. First, would you be willing to serve as a case study for carbon markets? Actual participation would be voluntary, and information will be kept confidential. For more information about carbon markets, click the link. Lastly, are you willing to have this operational unit featured in news or social media highlight? Remember, if you have any questions throughout the application process, feel free to email us at climatesmart.ag.tamu.edu or call us at 979-314-8095. Congratulations, you have completed the application. You may now hit the submit button. Thank you for your interest in the TCSI. We appreciate the time it took to submit this form. We anticipate selection will occur each quarter in 2024. We plan to get back to you as soon as this process is complete for your application.